Hey, welcome to Lizards&Locations. Let me make sure we got everything set up. We're good to go. So we are doing our session 0 for Strixhaven, what would be called Syllabus of Shenanigans. And we have this cool little graphic that we made here. Thank you to Kat and Mary for helping us out so much. And then tons of feedback from the rest of everybody else here.
The cool S makes its return.
Yes.
It's triumphant return to Dungeons&Dragons.
Triumphant return of the S.
Triumphant.
So, I'm John. I'm going to be the DM for this session, this campaign. This is our first campaign in which we're starting with you guys on this recording, which is really cool. You've probably heard us talk about our Curse of Strahd campaign that we're doing as a continuation of everything we've been working on, as well as our redacted campaign that has not been officially stated what the title is yet.
To us. Maybe
to us, at least. Maybe to you, possibly. Who knows? But the as of right now, it's our redacted in this current filming situation. And that is hosted by Andrew, Curse of Strahd being hosted by Mary, with our lovely DMs. I also DM our kind of off the stream right now. It's called The Long Road. That one's been going on for 3 years now.
Getting up there, yeah.
Getting up to close to 3 years, just like that. We're at level 10s, so that's been a lot of fun. This campaign, we are in the same setting actually as the Long Road setting, which is the Forgotten Realms setting. If you're familiar with authors such as R.A. Salvatore, and these wonderful work around the world of Toriel, or the continent of Faerun. So we are doing Strixhaven, and we took the idea of putting Arcavios, this beautiful Magic the Gathering world, and we're merging it into Toriel. And this merger, it happened, I got my notes here, let's see here. This merger happened 215 years after the beginning of the Long Road campaign. So when we first started the Long Road, 215 years later. The current year in our Long Road campaign for my players is 1492. The current year for the Strixhaven campaign is 1707. DR as in Dale Reckoning. So this is 1707. The campaign is going to mainly center around the Strixhaven University. And we're going to be really looking at taking this real cool magical journey through our 4 years, if we survive, through this university, if we have the duration and durability for it. But we'll see what goes and everything. I wanted to kind of start with some house rules. And so one of the first house rules that we change, and each of us DMs have a little bit different style of how we treat criticals, because we kind of just don't like the way 5e does the original critical. But my style is we're going to just double everything. So if I roll a d6 and I roll a 5 and I have a +3 modifier, right? 5 + 3 = 8. 8 times 2, 16, right? And that is the critical damage. And so that is the first house rule that I wanted to talk about. The second one is we're going to start with a feat and a magic item, which you guys have already chosen for your guys' characters, respective characters. The magic item, correct me if I'm wrong, I said uncommon or lesser rarity, right?
Yep.
And I think a couple of us, at least one of us, has a homebrew magic. I know Farah does, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Farah has a homebrew item. Just to be very, very transparent, we do a lot of homebrew. That's the really beautiful thing about 5e, actually, is it just says, hey, here's the rules, but feel free to add to it, right? It's not perfect. And so we took that with a big stride, and we wanted to throw a lot of this homebrew into it, whether it's rule design, character design. We have a homebrew races between you guys, who we'll talk about in just a little bit. Whether it's our leveling up system, right? You know, each campaign is supposed to be based on XP, right? This one we're doing a little bit different type of leveling up. We're actually going to, every 4 exams that you pass, so you take 5 exams per an exam trial. There's 3 trials per year, right? For every 4 of them that you pass, you get a level up. Okay? So through the course of our 4 years, as long as you're passing your exams, of course, being a good student, you should end the campaign roughly around level 16. Okay, that's our goal, if you will. If we last, if we survive.
Maybe y'all won't.
Yeah. But overall, the actual leveling system is meant to be, if you failed your exam, that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's okay. you can do like makeup work, and you guys can get back to that and make up for that exam, and then you'll get the credit for it, and then you'll level up. Of course, if there's 5 classes you guys are taking, you only pass 4, you still get the level up, right? But it does mean that you might not level up as quick as someone else does who passed all 5 exams. School matters. Stay in school, kids. So with that being said, that's another one of my little home rule, like my little kind of homebrew systems here. Let's see. Oh yeah, let me talk about how homework works. So we have homework now.
Great.
Fun. So you guys have, just so you guys know, 5 classes a year, right? So 4 years you'll be taking 20 classes, right? Unless you wanted to take more, we talked a little bit about that for possibly you, Andrew, with your character maybe wanting to maybe do less extracurricular or less job stuff, taking up more of a academic side. We can work that in. Homework happens, you have 1 homework assignment per class per 10 days. And just to be clear for people who are unfamiliar with Forgotten Realms, it's not a week, it's not 7 days, it's 10 days. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're literally named 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very brilliant scheming. And we have a little bit of a different calendar. We're using the calendar of Harptos, which you guys are familiar slightly with from our Long Road campaign. But you have homework, 1 per class each week. And so essentially we'll do rolls. Obviously, if you're really distracted throughout the week, you may have a little bit less time to do your homework, making that homework roll a little bit worse. The homework roll is a D20, okay? And you roll it for each class. We add up all 5 classes, and that's your grade. We're just going to streamline it instead of keeping track for all your grades.
Which one's the D20?
The D20. That's a great question. Go fuck yourself. But the D20 will roll 5 of those. You'll total up the sum of those. That's a math term for you kids. But we'll get the total up, and if it's a 70 or higher, you pass your homework assignment for that week. Pretty easy. Huh. Yeah, Vassie's gonna have fun.
Vassie may need a tutor.
Yeah.
I have a tutor.
Which is provided by the professors and the fellow students at Strixhaven University. Anyway, so as we get back to this, so the D20 system, you have the homework. What does homework mean for you? So what I did is that if you did good, let's say if you're like extra paying attention, like I'm assuming Astra is very studious.
You would be correct.
Yeah. So you may get like an extra D4 to add to your D20 because you're paying attention. If Vassie decides to just, I don't know, draw dick pics the entire time or whatever pics you, I mean.
Don't kink shame.
You may get a D4 subtracted from your D20, depending on what's going on there.
It's just because all the ones that are sent to her are so disappointing. So she has to try her own.
It's true. They're like, oh, you're a gnome. You'll be fine with my microchode. Like, I don't think.
Oh, God. Micro penises are real. Go watch New Girl.
And we've earned our explicit tag on iTunes. Good job, everybody.
All right.
High five.
We did it. We made it, guys.
Made it, yeah.
So, what does homework mean? What's the benefit of doing your homework? Well, good grades. You take the homework, and if you're passing 70 or higher for the week, and by the time we get to those exams, I will go, okay, you now have advantage on all of your exam rolls.
Oh, shit.
Which is really nice, right?
That's bonkers good.
However, if you're failing classes, you now have disadvantage on your exam rolls.
So that would mean that you either only can have advantage or disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I took out the normal roll of the exam system. Yeah.
That is a...
Yeah, it is rough. So homework is a huge part. However, you can make up for it through a different system, also called the lab work. Our lovely scientist Mary would know all about lab work. So lab work happens on the 7th of the 10 days, just so you know. So lab day is always on the 7th of the 10 days. Why? I know realistically it doesn't make sense. I just did it because it makes it all streamlined for me preparing, hey, this is when labs happen. Okay?
You are the actual teacher among us, I imagine.
That
you
is
have the
yeah.
actual
I'm
insight
wondering
into
if our
that.
listeners can tell that John here is a teacher in real life.
That's right, we made him do his day job in Dungeons and Dragons.
We asked him if he wanted to, and he was like, hell yeah.
Immediately.
So my hands are clean.
Yeah, it was Nate who was like the first one to bring it up to me. Yeah, that sounds good. So, Lab work works just like homework. You do a roll, right? And if let's say if you're failing stuff, I can substitute your lab roll for a homework grade roll.
Oh, okay.
And that brings it up a little bit higher.
Saved.
So lab work
Saved.
can really help. And just so we're clear, lab work typically means, whether it's dissection and stuff like that, typically in a day for us, lab work might mean just hands-on experience, with magic and the arcane style. So, you mentioned that you signed up for pyromancy for beginners, right?
Yes.
So you might be there's a lab for that one. So you'll be doing practicing burning hands and stuff like that, where you'll be scorching stuff. So that would be part of your lab work. Pretty fun.
I can't wait to find out how I cast magic.
We're really going to need to watch those trees and protect them, aren't we?
There's a lot of fire going on.
Listen. Flame hands.
My leaky save us.
So how do the rolls work? How do the exam rolls work? Each class you guys signed up had 2 skills, right? So one might say athletics, the other one might say deception, right? You can use either athletics or deception, whoever scores higher for you, and that's what you're rolling when you take the exam, right? So that's your modifier you use for it.
Or required class.
I will tell you about the DC. The DC scales as we get higher in our academics. So, for example, final exams, the 3rd exam, is much harder than the 1st exam, right? And then our 4th year final exam, holy shit, is much harder of a DC, right? So hopefully as we're scaling our levels, if we're passing classes, and not skipping school, I'm looking at you, Farah.
What?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought you would look at me.
No,
Yeah.
I would never. Vassy totally loves
What?
school.
I came here for a purpose.
That's fair. That's fair.
I came here because I was expected to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we're a match set, and I was going, so you're just coming with me.
You're going too.
Yeah, it was contingent.
Contingent. Must be approved as well.
It pretty much was a package deal kind of thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you guys also need to know is that there's not just a test at the end for these tests. And by the way, they happen 10 weeks each. So after 10 days, if you will, you'll have your first exam. Another 10 days. You have your second exam, and then our final exam is the 3rd of the 10 days. Okay? So we start, just so you guys know, on Elasis 1, as the month ELEASIS. The first day of that is when school starts. And we end on what would be, oh my gosh, I have it in my notes here. Starts with M. I know you. Maybe I don't.
Check out Cyrus.
Myrtle. Yeah, Myrtle. Mirtul, the 30th. That is when school ends for us. We have this studying phase that happens. And so what means is that you take a test, right? And you then do a studying section, right? And depending on how your studying goes, and are uninterrupted or interrupted, that will help you get not advantages, but bonuses to your exam testing rolls. So you could possibly have advantage and a little bonus rolls as well to it. Okay, so there could be a really easy way to pass these exams. Depends on your studying habits. Other than that, those are my main homebrew rules as we go into this. There's 3 ways you can pass an exam. Or like 2 ways. There's 3 options. There's failing the exam, passing the exam, acing the exam. Now you may ask, what's the difference for us for passing and acing? Passing might give you 1 bonus roll for anything. Think it was like inspiration die. Okay? But acing exam will give you like 2 inspirations until the next exam that you can use on anything.
Inspiration 2.
So it's really nice little system that you guys can throw into. If you're doing well in classes, you're acing your exams, not only are you leveling up, but you're also getting like bonus modifiers to everything else going on there. So that's enough for me. Any questions? I knew I just threw a lot at you guys. How are we feeling?
You are doing the 3.0 style ASIs where it's every 4 character levels instead of every 4 class levels?
Yep, yeah. Okay. So for if anybody who's not familiar with what Andrew's talking about here, there is a system in the current 5e in which your character levels, or your ASIs, your ability score improvements, are based on your character or class level, right? So if I'm 4th level fighter, there's my ability score improvement / feat, right? Versus what we're doing, it's just based on character level. So if I'm level 3 fighter, level 1 monk, I still get my ASI. Okay? If you're wondering how does that apply to fighters and rogues, they just get their bonus 1 like they naturally would when they hit it.
Yeah, it's crazy how that's just not...
It just actually normally lines up
yeah.
too. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, that is how that's a good question, no. Any other questions about some of the homebrew stuff from you guys? Exams make sense. Homework sucks, but you gotta do it. You know, it's school.
In real life, I'm an academic.
Yeah.
And I don't mind homework. And I go to school way too much. I'm still in school.
Still in school? Yo, master's degree soon.
Soon! I'm so stressed.
I'm still in school.
Are you though?
In a different way!
Just running the place.
I get it. That doesn't mean my character's
Yeah. So I'm really excited about trying this whole, when Nate was the first one, it was just like, hey, how do you feel about doing Strixhaven? And I was like, gosh, so like take Harry Potter, but less transphobic, and put it into D&D. Yeah, let's do it. Kind of thing. So yeah, man, exciting. I wonder how many followers we just lost. Oh well.
Not what we want.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so let me look at my list. Anything I need to go through? Oh yeah, there's this really important thing. Who are you guys? So let's do clockwise. Mary, you're up. So introduce yourself. What we got?
Hi, I'm Mary. I am a scientist in real life, but in game, I'm going to be playing a gnome tiefling named Vesnik Allura Nefertiti Windcaller, Vassie for short. And Vassie is 4'9", the magic number, and she has red hair and pink eyes and is purple after her mom. She is buff, she is cut, she is yoked, and she is dumb.
8 intelligence.
I hate intelligence.
The smartest among us has the least intelligent character. Roleplay.
Roleplay, baby. She is a rogue. For now. The background I picked was Gladiator. It's a twist on performer.
Yeah, entertainer.
Entertainer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is because of some fun things to do with her dad's background and her mom, I guess. She was a bard. And she is, for better terms, a pro wrestler. She fights people for show and makes money doing it. She's great. The only other character that she knows is her beautiful fraternal twin sister, Astra. And Astra is her best friend and everything to her. And like we said before, Vassie's only going to Strixhaven because Astra was like, I'm not attending your stupid school without my sister. So I'm making it their problem. And that's all.
All right. Very, very cool. Andrew, if you want to go ahead and introduce who you'll be playing as.
Well, as everyone said, my name is Andrew, and I'll be playing Astra Allura Melodious Windcaller, or Astra for short. She's the same height, not same weight. They're both 4'9". Astra's a little bit lighter than Vassie because she does not have quite the muscle mass.
Not as yoked!
Looking at strength 9 here.
Yeah. Yeah, we basically flip-flopped the intelligence and strength scores for each of our characters. So I'm the one with 18 intelligence and strength. And for a background, I chose Gambler because while my sister was super, super good at fighting in the quote-unquote ring, I suppose, it's not a ring as such, but there's a functional border. I spent my time fleecing anyone who would listen of all their money by betting on it.
There you go.
So that's what I did. Well, my sister kind of took care of all of the heavy lifting. And, she, of course, got her cut of the winnings, including my own gambling. Because of that, I also took the lucky feat. Because, one, it's so very good.
Oh my gosh.
It's just such a very, very good feat, and probably shouldn't have been given to me, but I'm going to take it.
Oh, my feat is Infernal Constitution. More of the yoked.
The yoked.
So, yeah. So I feel like that it felt right. Gambler, lucky, kind of fits into itself. She was originally supposed to be a sorcerer, but she is going to end up being a Bladesinger wizard. She can't be a Bladesinger quite yet because for whatever reasons, like, oh no, you have to wait till level 2 for that until you do the thing that you do as a thing. But
Also, I think this is the first time we're ever starting at level 1.
yeah, we've never started at level 1 before. So like this will be interesting to see how what Astra does as she discovers unlocking the Bladesinger's like actual power. Because I feel like she would still do the things that she's going to do as a Bladesinger. It just doesn't kick in like correctly. She's still doing the forms. She's still trying to channel all of her things, and she has I didn't finish describing her. She has the purple eyes and white hair of her mom, but with the same purple skin as her sister. So they look similar enough to where there's no
Denying.
they look pretty much the same, and they are gnome tieflings. Okay. I'm not sure if you know if we mentioned that.
I did.
Our father was so our father was a gnome, so we're
Mom's teeth.
super short, and it's hilarious, and it should be a whole lot of fun. And yeah, the only person that Astra knows at the time, I believe, she may know one of the teachers at Strixhaven, but the only person she knows from a class perspective is her sister Bessie.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Nate.
All right.
Give us this delicious character you made.
Delicious.
Delicious. That's probably not the.
That's weird.
We're making it weird now, John. I don't know. Yeah. I understand what you were going for, though. Yeah. It's okay. It wasn't meant to be weird, but it was.
I regretted it immediately.
Yeah.
You know what? I regret it for you.
Oh, savage, though.
Woo!
So my character's name is Farah. Her original inspiration was like kind of like a Disney princess, you know, like I sort of sing and then things animate and then like, oh my gosh, like the broom is, you know, doing the bump, 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 bump. You know, I'm not going to do the whole song, but
Demonetized.
For copyright reasons.
For copyright. But so she's a Bard College of Creation character. She's a satyr. Satyrs are known to be very revelrous, very party going and stuff like that, and it kind of tied in with my character in that she's a music maker. And so she's part deer and part human. So the deer part, usually like they say, oh, there's like a solid kind of split right about at the waistline, like that's the deer or the whatever animal part, and then above is the human. But I kind of had it where it transitioned. It was kind of like a mix between like where the deer ends and like, you know, human begins. It was kind of a blend to make it more interesting. She's more Fae-like in that regard, I think. But she's got like kind of a brown, like a chestnut, well not a chestnut, but like a dark brown, auburn ombre hair, and she's like kind of more tan. You know, she spends a lot of time in the sun, goes to a lot of parties. You know. And yeah, she wears a lot of. She has like a couple different notes of jewelry. It's like this blue azurite. It's supposed to be like for protection and stuff like that. And she also has like these markings on her skin that also have relation to ceremonious rites from before. But we can get into that at another time. But she lives over in Condlewood, and she's spent a lot of time in the Fae. She lives in a small community, mostly farmers. You know, there's some druids there. There's a different kind of like hierarchy there. It's very communal. So she's kind of, you know, used to that small town lifestyle, and now she's kind of pulled out of her little small place and is going to now a university. So it's very different for her. And she was encouraged by her friend Cotton Candy to do so. And, you know, they were like, oh, you know, Bestie, you gotta come with me to school. You gotta come with me to school. And she's like, oh, okay. I wasn't aware that school existed. It sounded pretty cool. You gotta learn. I love learning. Learning's so much fun. It's a great time.
Glass shatters.
And so yeah, she'd been talking with Cotton Candy. They hang out at the carnival all the time, and you know, she convinced her. She's like, that sounds like a great idea. And so she convinced her parents, like, hey, I'm gonna go off to school, and they're like, oh, all right, yeah, that sounds great, actually, And so that's kind of where we're at right now.
Very, very cool. Also, can we just address how beautiful your lei just blends with the shirt? It just little bits of green. I mean, just all on point with the Feywild here. I like it. I like it.
It was deliberate.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear what your idea is, but what class are you?
The Bard College of Creation?
Did you say that?
You did say that.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
It's okay. He failed his homework already.
Already.
Oh, no!
Look, there's a reason this is roleplay. As I've stated before.
All right, go ahead, Kat. We got.
I am Kat, and I am playing Cotton Candy, a human that grew up in the Witchlight Carnival, and so the magic that kind of exists there washed over her quite a lot, and so she's visually very strange. She's got really pale skin, right now electric blue hair, and vibrant purple wings on her back. And she works there as a sugarsmith, a kind of like a silversmith, but with sugar. She makes all sorts of candy.
She makes the best treats.
I've seen enough of those Food Network specials to know that that is exactly a real thing.
Absolutely. And so she likes to wear vibrant colored clothes and have fun and party, and she's very flighty. And she met Farah very recently, and they're besties now. And so we've decided to go off to college together. She also has quite a lot of tattoos, and so the most obvious ones are the Displacer Beast and the Cherry Tree that are on her torso. And they're all very important to her, and we can get into that a little bit later. But she is a human warlock.
Human warlock.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. And like you said, you guys know each other from your guys' where you guys lived, right?
That's the charisma side of the table.
That is true. Yeah, look at that. 20 charisma. Oh my gosh.
Just a little bit.
And Farah over here with a 19 charisma. Very
Show them our charisma.
Yeah, what we got here. So if we look at Astra, we have a good old 11 charisma.
Not the worst.
Above average.
Above
Just to be
average.
very clear. And Vassy coming in strong with 11 as well. It's almost like they're twins.
Right.
They take after their father.
It's true.
The tragedy of
True.
the
The
truth.
tragedy is that they're more charismatic than him actually.
Thanks, Mom.
Wow. Yeah, thanks, Mom.
All right.
Oh my god.
So I feel good about that. We're going to be doing our first session coming soon, and we're really excited for you guys to watch. And just tune in and always show your support any way you can. We want to thank Sirenscape for everything they do, allowing us to have easy access to music that we've been putting in the background for you guys. We're going to be having information shown up very soon with contact information for our email and media stuff, and how can you find us, and how can you find our Patreon, so you can find those ideas as well. So all those things are coming in soon, and we're really excited to get this started. And so don't forget to tune in Lizards and Locations. All right, see you guys.